What's up, legends? My name is Dante Rice, also known as Dominant Techniques. I am a licensed freelance barber. I got started when I was about 12 years old. I have two brothers that actually live with me, and I used to try to cut their hair and they wouldn't let it happen. So I started cutting my own hair on a regular basis. As that occurred, I started going to school and no one believed that I cut my own hair. That was the transition where I knew that this was something that I was on to. So at that point, I graduated with an engineering degree with a minor in management. I engineered for approximately 8 years or so. And at that point, towards the end, I started to think to myself, maybe this isn't what I'm called for. Maybe this isn't necessarily my dream. So that's when I went ahead and made my next transition. And I went in and started doing barbering full time. While I was engineering, I actually was playing around with barbering. But now I'm full time. I'm branding myself and branding Legendary Cuts, and this is what you've been waiting for. Some of my inspirations was actually my own family. My grandfather, he owned his own barbershop at a younger age, but as far as actually watching people cut hair, I kind of started off on my own. My main inspiration was the fact that I knew that I wanted to do something, and I knew that whatever it was that I wanted to do, it had to be something that I loved. And I love art. I started out in architecture, art and design, or a lot of different varieties as far as art is concerned. And barbering for me is a magnificent art, because you could take that art from pretty much 0 to 50, within about 20 to 30 minutes. It's beautiful to watch clients see themselves after finished product, and that is one thing that inspired me. Now I'm starting to get inspired more due to social media introducing me to all of the new up-and-coming barber and stylists. When I was 12, you didn't have that, so a lot of people didn't really know who was who. Because of the social media aspect, now I can know what someone in Australia does. I can look at what someone in New Zealand does as far as from an artistic tip, as well as pull inspiration and aspiration from them. A lot of my pieces are derived from architecture or art or even cars. So a lot of my hair designs, it's not just a haircut for me, it's actually art in general and art in its totality. So my biggest challenge as far as haircuts are concerned, my brother came in one day and he told me, man, I want to fade, but I want curls. Wait a minute, I want waves, but I want straight hair. But no. I wanted to have a sculpture, but look, what do you really want? So I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and take care of it for you. And this is when the Tomahawk was created. My first haircut, of course, went 100% the way I planned it. That's an ultimate lie. I messed my hair up so bad, but it was okay because it was the weekend and it gave me a few days for me to recover. But as I continued to cut, I got better and better every day. And that's the inspiration for me, was watching myself get better and better every day. I actually started teaching my brother how to cut after he started to notice, and I began to inspire him as well. And I went to the bathroom and I turned all of the lights off. When I turned the lights off, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Take the clippers and cut your hair." He said, "Dude, you gotta be crazy." But I didn't feel like it was crazy, because hair cutting is art, and art is not only visual, it is also, you can hear it. When somebody cuts a bald spot in your hair, you can hear it make that sound. You don't have to see them do it, you hear it. So it's also smells, it's all of your 5 senses. And that is why barbering is so near and dear to me, is because it's my actual life. It's my livelihood and it's my lifestyle. I didn't begin to get serious with barbering until after my last year as I was engineering. A lot of things were going on in the industry as far as just everyone, the foreclosure rates going on with homes, my family members, some of them losing their jobs, me on the brink of losing my own. And I noticed that it wasn't because of productivity, it was simply because the industry and the livelihood of people were changing. So that's when I decided, something that I had been working on mentally needs to come to fruition. So I decided to go ahead and take it to the next level and start barbering. As I began to get into school and I started to go through that process, I noticed that, man, I want to be more than just behind the chair all day cutting hair. So that's when I decided, well, what is it? What would I name what it is that I have that I don't even really know what I have yet? So that's when I named it Legendary Cuts Incorporated. So as I named it that, I said, well, I kind of like, the name. Everyone in college called me DT, which has a couple different names. It stood for Dante, it stood for a couple different things, but Dominant Techniques is what I ended up coming up with. And Dominant Techniques explains a lot of different things. When you look up Dominant Techniques, at least as far as from a martial arts standpoint, it's talking to you about what they consider to be the best technique in order to defend yourself the best way. And in doing that, I kind of like that because I also do martial arts. But it's a lifestyle, and that's the main thing that I wanted to convey with Dominant Techniques is no matter whatever technique you use, you can have a dominant technique flipping burgers. You could be good, you could flip it behind your back, and it's dominant because you feel is the best for what you have to do. That's what your dominant technique is. So it's not just necessarily me, it's everyone that possesses a dominant technique. You just have to find what your dominant technique is. Currently and foregoing in the industry, I am mentoring up and coming barbers, and I'm also teaching as a freelance teacher. I teach at different venues, whether it's different schools or just directly to different apprentices. I teach as well as make sure I'm involved in different organizations that also promote the education of different individuals. I really appreciate the fact that I'm growing and I'm continuing to grow and staying relevant. The way I'm continuing to stay relevant is making sure I'm reaching out to all of those across the world. And I'm also looking to cross over, or what I consider crossing over. Like, there are a lot of good rappers or there are a lot of good singers out here, but everyone isn't able to cross over into the next genre. And the fact that I barber as well as style, I feel that that's allowing me the advantage of crossing over and allowing me to give others the inspiration to cross over as well, to make this one uniform business. Everyone wants to make their mark on the world. And the way I do it is by making sure every one of my clients have high quality products used on them, as well as a high quality service. Everyone across the board is treated with dignity and respect, and you will get a custom piece of artwork from these hands on you. And I'll also add on, you get 3 free looks and 2 phone numbers. Once again, legends, my name is Dante Rice, also known as Dominant Techniques. You can find me at Instagram at dominant_techniques, Tumblr, Dominant Techniques, one word, as well as Facebook, Dominant Techniques, which is a Facebook page. I also have a YouTube, Dom Tech Presents. What I highly recommend is that you subscribe to the www.dominanttechniques.com. That's my website. That is where you will get inspired. That's where you will become a legend as well. And don't forget about the new up-and-comer, personally trained by me, my youngest apprentice, started at 2 years old, Drew Rice, trained directly from me, apprentice, Barber Phenom. He has an Instagram, go to Barber Phenom. And remember, don't be ordinary, be legendary.